What is going on, Notre Dame fans? Mike Singer and Tim Hyde live on the Blue and Gold YouTube channel. Got so much to talk about. We talked about Notre Dame and USC rivalry last week. Well, we got even more with both head coaches commenting on the future of the rivalry in the media since our last show. So very excited for what tonight brings. Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel for more content. And blueandgold.com is, of course, your home for all things Notre Dame Fighting Irish football and recruiting coverage. And Tim's back on the message board. He's posting again. We love to see it. Tons and tons of recruiting content right now. I mean, me and Kyle have just been, going ham, posting articles. Have you watched this Israel Abrams kid, this 2027 quarterback, Tim?
Mike, I'm going to be brutally honest. I have watched Peter Bork.
So you haven't watched many?
No, because it's like, as your philosophy is, why right now? Because we don't know what the heck we're going to do. But if there's a couple I should,
I'll let you know.
I have, it's the last few years I've dived into a lot because they've given out some offers on Pot of Gold. So that's been extremely fun to see who the 5 or 6 they've offered, compared them to the other national top 10 type quarterbacks and try and make up who's who. So, but hey, they're taking their time. We'll see how this happens and plays out. But yeah, I have actually literally stayed away from watching quarterbacks until there's a good hard 4 to watch. And then I'm going to dive into those guys to see who's who. So, but hey, who knows, man? You're already talking about 2028. I don't even, dude. I saw the name. It's an Oak. Yeah, you're right. The Oaks Christian kid, because I looked at your Irish invasion list you guys posted.
Yeah, on my.
I'm just like 2028. Are you kidding?
On my laptop, I'm writing a huge article. You see all this with names.
Look at that. Look at the info
of new in 10. This is one of them. I think I talked about him last week. Dude, hold on. Look at this kid. 2028 from Miami Northwestern. Ohio State, Miami, Texas, UCF, TCU. Many offers.
Look at he's okay. He's pretty good.
Georgia, Oregon, Alabama. He's going into his sophomore year. He's got a second page.
Yeah,
he's got a second page. Right. Look at this. He's going to Notre Dame on Friday. He's going to throw.
Yeah.
How the hell did Gino Guidugli get this kid on campus?
Why does the Notre Dame fan in me say, yeah, great. After that entire list you showed me, just move on to the next guy. But
I don't disagree with you. That Notre Dame's got an elite quarterback from Miami Northwestern.
Exactly. With all those offers already. Oh boy.
But I think it's going. But I'm going to see him. I'm heading up to South Bend tomorrow, so I'm be there for a couple days. Looking forward to it. Tim, when's the last time you got out there?
So let me ask you this: we haven't, is 28 better than 27? Is that why they're taking their time on 27? Because they really don't know about 27 because the talent might not be as good. Obviously, you have Grubbs, but did they go on Grubbs too early? With the way that quarterback, recruiting has gone out nationally. Maybe it was a national thing. Was there too many offers in 26? Because I know when you and I talked a year ago, it felt like the whole top 20 outside of Curtis had committed, which is wild. So
yeah. I love the Brady Hart kid.
Push. Yeah,
Grubbs. But I'll say this about Grubbs: he's the one that I Notre Dame really, really wanted. They really, really wanted Grubbs. He's got great arm talent. He's got some work to do. Okay. And then, the 27 thing, Tim.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent, but if you compare the 27 quarterback classes to some past ones, and this is talking to people who know what they're talking about, not, me and Swan Dong and J Carr. This is, people who, do this for a living. The 27 quarterback class. Not that there's no talent, but what you just said is accurate. Okay. Now, for last year, for this very camp, there were a ton of 2027 guys. Bork was at Irish Invasion. Yeah. Trey Taylor, the Nebraska commit, was at Irish Invasion. There was a ton of 27s. So just So fast forward a year later, there's going to be a ton of 2028's talented arms. Ty Simpson's younger brother, the Alabama quarterback, he's going to be there, and he's already got a ton of offers. I'm really looking forward to seeing him. So yeah, there's a lot to it. There's I actually wrote a column about this. Tim, how about that?
Look at that. It's just, well, and another thing with QB, someone I thought I saw in the chat talking about how important 27 is. It might be. I mean, Marcus Freeman and company have back-to-back years with no elite, quote-unquote, 11 QB. I'm just saying, it's been a while since Notre Dame's gone back-to-back years without getting someone in that upper echelon. So, when you look at it, but I don't know what that means. I don't know.
But Elite 11 is just it's
a name, and it's fun to watch, to compare.
But it's just people picking it subjectively. Like,
I feel you, but you still got. I mean, most of those guys still have to earn their way through a competition.
You know who was at Elite 11, Tim? Back-to-back recruiting classes for Notre Dame. Phil Dracovic and Brendan Clark. They were Elite 11 finalists, so they must have been great quarterbacks at Notre Dame.
Clark.
He's an Elite 11 finalist, buddy.
I'm gonna look at that. I don't think.
I
don't think Dracovic went because he was in basketball. I remember.
Hold on, let's just look it up. This is very easy, Tim.
Exactly. They have a great page.
Drew Pine. So it would have been 2018.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, a year ahead or a year behind, excuse me.
All right, hold on. This is easy.
People keep saying how elite the recruiting's been. We got back-to-back QBs, Mike. You know what I'm saying, right? Are we going to the portal in 28?
All right, so there's Brendan Clark. He was invited to the Elite 11.
Congratulations.
And then the year before, you will see.
Phil was in basketball, so maybe I'm wrong.
Dude, look at this class. Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Tyler Shuck.
Tyler Shuck, look at that.
Is Phil not here? Yeah, he was invited to it. I know he was invited to it.
Yeah, I believe you're right. So, but that's fine. It's a fun little start to the show. Just talking about QBs, sitting there waiting. You're writing about 28s, 29s. We're going to watch the Elite 11 2 years in a row. And actually we did. We watched it last year with Deuce Knight, but I guess that's, we can't talk about that anymore, right? Heck, we broke down the Elite 11 last year, you and I, each day, getting into it, Deuce Knight's rankings. Yeah, that lasted a month.
Maybe he didn't get invited.
I just know he's a big hoopster, so I thought I remember reading he got invited but couldn't make it, so he just declined.
Well, I googled it, so if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong.
There's an old article I probably have somewhere.
Boston College quarterback Phil Dracovic was also part of the 11 regionals, but didn't make it to the finals. So maybe he didn't. Maybe the chat can let us know. Carr and Minchie were back-to-back Elite 11, and then you had Pine, so you had Pine and Clark. 2021 Buckner was there, so that's 3 in a row. Yeah, Steve wasn't there, and then 23 was Kenny, and he was there.
Kenny was there.
So they definitely had a stretch there. So, anyways,
and Kelly had like 5 or 6 in a row.
Pine. So there, instead of Phil and Clark, how about Clark and Pine?
There you go. But it's always fun. It's always fun.
Yeah, people are saying Deuce Knight. Yeah, we're not.
No, I actually forgot. Yeah, we literally did a show breaking down his film at Elite 11, all the evaluations from Charles Power. I remember that.
It's funny because it's like, dude should be a 5-star. Dude should be a 5-star. I don't think anyone now in Notre Dame should think that dude should be a 5-star. I don't know.
I'll be. God, I haven't thought of Deuce Knight. I didn't even check his spring. I have not. We're wasting time on him, but it's like I didn't even read his spring eval. I don't even know what he did.
I think he did good.
I'll be honest. I haven't spent 5 seconds on him over spring. I may have to do that tonight.
I've watched some clips from JD Pickell at On 3, and he's saying that Auburn needs to give Deuce Knight a package, something. So, all right,
we'll see. Nice. A little QB counter with him. That would be nice to run there in the Q-free spread offense.
Let's dive into today's show. 10 minutes in, just been shooting the shit. If you're just joining us, please hit the thumbs up on this video, folks. Subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel for more content. Tim, I'm interested for your thoughts on this article. Headline: Why Marcus Freeman is high on 3 particular Notre Dame receivers in 2025. Not that he's not high on the other guys, but in a media session late last week, I believe it was Thursday, spoke really highly about Jaden Greathouse, Will Pauling, and Malachi Fields. He said if Jaden Greathouse is covered one-on-one, he's not covered. I cringe every time an announcer says, if he's in a 50-50 situation, it's more like 80-20. Shut the hell up. No, it's not. If that were the situation, quarterback would throw it up to him every single time. It's not 80-20, but anyways. Still, he said throwing the ball, he's able to make some catches that some people would assume he's covered. Tim, I was doing this research the other day. He had like 9 of 16 games last year with 2 or less receptions, Jaden Greathouse. And then goes berserk in the playoffs. That was wild to me. Pauling, he spoke really high about, said I really respect the way he practices, playmaker, experienced, effort, yada yada. Spoke highly about Pauling, and then of course Fields said some good things about him. Where was that in this article? Am I blind? But yeah, as you would. Oh yeah,
That wasn't Fields like his
yeah. Point of attack.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see. Yeah. Tough, gritty, high effort, take pride in blocking. Okay, so thoughts on those 3 in particular, Tim?
Yeah, I don't know if we want gritty, hard-nosed wide receivers. I don't know if Notre Dame Nation's getting hyped. Oh, I got some gritty wide receivers out there. As we watch EA 26 and it's Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith just jumping over 6 people to get balls. But yeah, the gritty thing scares me. But I know what he's saying as a coach. They're just a bunch of hard workers. Well, we don't want to hear that as wide receivers. Bunch of hard workers out there, right, Mike? Hey, you and I have been trying to not jinx this darn thing forever, right? It is definitely a better room. No doubt about that. I mean, once again, they didn't have a wide receiver in 2022. That's why Michael Mayer played wide receiver. So it was better in 23 with the 2 freshmen playing a ton. And Faison, 3 freshmen. We always forget Faison was a freshman. We just, obviously with Rico and Jaden Greathouse. And obviously last year, the old guys come in, got a ton of reps to let some of those other guys keep competing and learning and growing. So the same thing, you bring in 2 older vets, Greathouse, Faison, year 3 for those guys. So obviously we're expecting, me in my year three, especially at Notre Dame. You've gone through it, the rigors, the day-to-day life, go out there and compete. Fields just a big, giant body. I don't think he's a blazer. Big boundary guy, wide target. He's going to be a huge target. He's going to be a guy you could throw the back shoulder to because he's just got the wingspan to go up and catch the balls from Kenny or CJ, whichever 2 wins that darn thing. And then I love Pauling. I went back and watched his Wisconsin film. That dude could run, catch, you name it. He's Pauling, Faison, Greathouse. It's like going back to the old, Joe Theismann days with the Smurfs and the Washington Redskins when they were kicking butt with Joe Gibbs in those early 80s. Just a bunch of small slots playing all over the place. So those 3 guys on the field at the same time will be extremely dynamic. So that's exciting. A lot of national publications we had the PFF for crying out loud. Had Notre Dame in the top 10.
10. So, they had them as the number 10 wide receiver room in the country.
Yeah, there's some of those preseason mags. Athlon, Lindy's has come out. Phil Stills is coming out in a week or 2 weeks. He'll probably have Notre Dame up in that area. That's nervous because it's like, is it real? We've been talking about wide receivers, it feels like, for so long. So, but we'll see. To have great wide receivers, you got to have a great quarterback. And it's a brand new puppy dog at quarterback. So we'll see how that thing plays out. But athletically, man, you have 4, right? Greathouse. We know we got Faison. And then obviously the 2 transfers. Who in the heck is the 5th? Who the heck am I missing? Is it KK Smith, who really hasn't done much in a couple of years, is year 3 his guy? Micah Gilbert is year 3 him. You still got some major question marks, do you not, out there? So the freshman, me personally, I'm not expecting it. I know everyone's high on Elijah Burris. If he gets in, he's going to get in as a 3rd-string guy and get some reps here and there. But I expect Mike Brown to find a core of 5 guys and play those. So
yeah,
who in the heck are the 5? You have the top four set. So, Notre Dame was been good in the past with a solid one deep, so to speak, in 12 and 18 and that. And you obviously got some running backs that can catch. So the key is it Smith, Gilbert, Williams? One of those three has to pop out, right?
Okay. So the top four set, right? Greathouse, Faison, Fields, Pauling, for sure. How many does Notre Dame typically do? Like what last year? What was like the rotation? How many guys?
Yeah, I mean the same thing. I mean, you're not looking. I mean,
is it like 6?
Receiver's not like D line where you're playing 9 guys. So exactly,
so it's like 5 or 6. What?
Yeah, because you have your obviously your boundary, your wide side, your slot, and then is Pauling Faison a outside inside combo guy? Yeah, because they do have obviously some experience now. Pauling, obviously, and he's a Mike Brown guy going back to his Wisconsin days.
I don't love like 2 at each spot. It's like
I agree.
It's because some guys like, why would I take off my best receiver just to I don't like put him somewhere else? Like, and it should be about the 6 best, just getting 6 best on the field, or in the rotation, in the snaps.
Exactly. When you go 12 personnel, sometimes you think it's so much outside guys, but you could go 12 personnel with a slot on a side, 2 guys opposite the 2 tight ends. Yeah. And that keeps your Greathouse, Fields, Greathouse, Pauling type of a combo in the slot. Yeah. Playing those guys in the wide side. So there's like that thing. The keep of truth 4, man, this is just me. It's the depth. You go on the message board, everyone's saying this is the deepest team at certain positions. That's my opinion. On certain positions, they're extremely deep. Wide receiver, man, if Pauling or if Fields pulls a hammy and he's out 3 weeks, who's playing? That's just going, we know the main 4. If the 4 stay healthy and can play 12 games, get your butt into the playoffs, Notre Dame's got a damn good wide receiver unit with those 4. But if one of those twists an ankle and he's out a game, goes back to the same guy. That's why I remember we did a show back in January. I was dead set, man, bring in 3 transfers because I don't know what they have in these young guys. So I was all for finding 3 transfers, bringing in another older guy just to help out because we're still waiting on KK, Cam Williams, Micah Gilbert. So we'll see. I'm just rambling on here, but we'll see what happens. We're set at 4. Stay healthy as can be. That's fingers crossed there.
Okay, hold on one second.
No, I hear you. I just started looking in the chat like,
okay. Just working on some. It's recruiting season. It's very busy. But by the way, I do think Burris could sneak in and be that 5th or 6th guy. This is a little update here. Elite 2026. I mean, Hayes Fawcett has listed as a safety here. You could call him. I call him an athlete. Can do anything. Joey O'Brien is down to Oregon, Notre Dame, and Penn State. That eliminates Tennessee.
He dropped Clemson? Wasn't he just at Clemson?
I'm sorry, Oregon, Penn State, Notre Dame, Clemson. I don't know what I said.
Okay. Oh, I got you. Okay.
Now, so he's dropping Tennessee, which is not a surprise. But
he never had SC, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. That's Adams, correct?
Yeah,
Adams out there. Okay.
Yeah, and then Ohio State, I think, has been out for a little bit.
Wow.
This is the really interesting thing. I just messaged Joey. I don't know if he'll respond, but his official visit, have him pop on the show. His official visit to Notre Dame is June 20th.
Okay.
So I'm assuming he's bumping Tennessee and replacing with Notre Dame.
He's going to move up?
That's what I would assume.
Oh, exactly. He's not going to take a week off unless he's hitting the ocean, right? Going to go surfing for a weekend.
Well, I don't think if he keeps June 20th Notre Dame commitment date, that would be too odd. If he's going to commit when he's at Notre Dame, that would make it way too obvious.
He has a June 20th?
So I'm sorry, his commitment date is June 20th.
Gotcha. Oh, then he's moving up Notre Dame.
So. His Notre Dame OV is set for June 20th. So I just texted a couple.
I always get nervous though when they start announcing their commitment dates and they haven't visited and they visited others. So because I know he's been to Penn State a ton. So Yeah, this is what I'll be honest with you. The whole Brian Adams thing is making me nervous as could be. So that's just me
Yeah, I
reading it
think
'cause I think they're damn good. I don't know what I have no idea who Notre Dame's plan Bs are after these two guys. We talked about this a few weeks ago. They got the stud out of Tennessee, who I love. They got Pouncey. Pouncey and O'Brien can play whatever the hell they want.
dude,
They're like,
Pouncey is
yeah,
so underrated.
they're this year's Golden.
You
Dallas
have
Golden.
to read
Anywhere.
Tim. Next time you take an extended, have an extended number 2 break. You have to read my Aiden Pouncey story that I published today, and you tell me if you think Brian Kelly would have landed that kid.
All right, I'll read.
There's just, dude, he straight up told me Notre Dame was the 10th school in his top 10.
You just stayed after him, huh?
And then he's like, I'm not a big academic guy, and he commits to Notre Dame. It's impressive. On3 just wrote an article about the O'Brien thing. Let me just check.
I hope he's an academic guy when he shows up. So,
well, in terms of like he's not making his decision based on
I know, I'm joking. He's not Aaron Lynch and gone in 3 months.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Go for it.
I'm pretty sure that O'Brien will move to June 13th. Anything else on the receivers, Tim? I mean,
no, it's
we're not holding.
I sent you last week. Like, wow, they're starting to get some hype, and then one of the magazines had him in the top 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, the wide receiver thing, as you and I know, is the ultimate. Fingers crossed. Don't talk about it too much. Hopefully, it's true. Right.
I called into John Kennedy's show this morning, and the receiver thing came up, and I said, when I talk about receivers, it is with my heart and like my scars of talking about receivers in the past and being wrong. But like Thomas Davis Jr., the Notre Dame commit, just took an official to Georgia, and everyone is like, he's flipping. For me, talking about recruiting, I can put this like the subjective emotions aside. I've been doing recruiting, for so long. Like I know it. But I can't do it with talking about the wide receivers. I can't be like objectively Malachi Fields is an upgrade over Bo Collins or Will Pauling. Look what he did at Wisconsin. I can't do it. I'm just like, bro. I just saw Jaden Greathouse have 1 catch for 8 yards too many times last year. And I love Jaden Greathouse. Huge Jaden Greathouse fan. But like, I don't know, bro. And part of it's on the quarterback, right? Last year, Leonard.
Oh yeah,
the greatest thrower.
I will say that for me, I think Fields on tape shows a lot more than Bo Collins. So you got there.
I agree.
With Harrison and Mitchell coming from mid majors, Pauling is completely better than those two. Is a wide receiver target. So their top 4 is damn good. But you've had some nicks and bruises with some of these guys. So that depth, man, somebody in that young group, it's like step up, take the reins, be a dude instantly at Miami that you could go out there and play 20 snaps, catch a ball or 2 if need be, and get after it. So it's up for grabs, that number 5 spot.
Okay. Man, I would love to get an answer on Joey O'Brien. I would say I'm like 70% sure that he's going to move up that OV to June 13th weekend. That would make a lot of sense, which, I was actually talking to Notre Dame source earlier today and was told that it's June 4th and Notre Dame's 2 OV weekends are the 13th and the 20th, and they're still kind of moving things around. So maybe O'Brien was one of them that is moving around. Tim, let's talk about Augie's Locker Room, the premier destination for Notre Dame memorabilia. So if you're looking for something, or maybe there's something that's looking for you, you don't even know you want this item, like a Jeremiah Love signed photo for less than $100. I mean, this thing looks incredible. Maybe you want to drop a pretty penny and get yourself a 2010 Harrison Smith gamed used Notre Dame football jersey. I mean, these things you can get at one place, and it is Augie's Locker Room. So make sure you head to augieslockerroom.com, go to the online store, and just have fun going down memory lane, seeing items that you didn't even know existed on the online store. Or if you're in town, check Augie out, 1733 North Ironwood Drive in South Bend, right down the street from Notre Dame. Augie's awesome. Give him a call, 574-277-6363. Last time I called Augie was on our recruiting show, and he did not answer, but I hope he answers if you guys give him a call. If you need to get a piece of Notre Dame history or some kind of memorabilia, call Augie, and he might be able to hunt it down for you if he doesn't already have it. Augie'sLockerRoom.com. Okay, Tim. Just one indie gal said, appreciate the $7 super chat. Can we move to talking about the gutless, lying, conniving wimps known as USC? Tim, have you followed this much? The stuff from like just the past few days from the coaches, what they've said?
Yeah, I mean, I saw Freeman's blurb. Obviously, I mean,
I'll go ahead and read Freeman's blurb.
Right, yeah, go for it.
He said, it's a great rivalry for all of college football. If it was up to me, we would play them every single year for the rest of college football. It's pretty black and white for me. You want my opinion? I want to play them every single year. When, in terms of like, which we talked about last week, early in the season, late in the season, Free said, I don't care. I want to play USC every year because it's great for college football. Do you want to know what Lincoln Riley said about it in an interview with On Three's Pete Nakos today? He said he will comment on it at the appropriate time. Tim, I know you have a thought.
Yeah, I mean, the game's going to be canceled. I said that a week ago. So, yeah, we, not he, we as his bosses will talk about that at an appropriate time. Because, I mean, the thing, it's gonna be canceled. I said this a week ago because why the hell did they all of a sudden come out with the Clemson thing, right? And then 24 hours later, Pat Forty's like, oh, look at this. SC's thinking about not playing. This has been in the works. This is something just didn't pop up. I hope to high heck they figure this out and they play. I'm with Freeman, play anytime. Some people don't like game one. Hey, it is an iconic rivalry. I get that. It is. And SC doesn't want to play in the middle of the Big Ten season, which is it's kind of stupid if you ask me, because they've been playing it in the middle of the damn Pac-12 season, the Pac-10 season, the Pac-8 season. They've been doing South Bend since late 50s, I believe, is when it started officially in October. Before that, they used to play the first weekend in December or Thanksgiving. You go all the way back to the 26 games. So, hell, there's times Notre Dame played SC 3 different times in this rivalry. They played in the Coliseum back-to-back years because they wanted the damn thing played. Like in the 50s, I think a couple times in the 50s, 48, 49. Played Coliseum back-to-back years. So, yeah, I don't care. We'll go play. So, SC just wants out of this damn thing. They just do. They want to have the cupcake preseason. I always call it preseason. I'm sorry for that. But you guys know what I mean, non-conference. So they just, they want to be able to adjust. I'm sure SC saying, hey, let's play 2 times over an 8-year period, 2 here, take a break, come back 2, kind of like what they've done with Michigan recently. But I'll tell you what, man, kudos to 99% of the SC podcasts out there. There's some good ones out there, some guys that have been around the block a long, long time, and they want this thing to continue. Their listeners want this thing. All of their Mark with glasses and J cars in the chats, they want it to continue. They do. Yeah. And like I said, there's a handful of really good USC alums that I have as friends, and there's a couple of high-end lawyers that I know, and they've all sent around letters just, hey, I'm sending this to the president. So things have gone out. The SC fans and the Notre Dame fans, they don't want this thing done. It's right. The higher-ups. I don't think it's a Lincoln Riley thing, because Lincoln Riley's not going to be there forever. And like so many of these podcast people say, this thing's been around forever. I mean, this thing has survived world wars, for crying out loud. So a head coach doesn't have a say. Lincoln Riley's going to get
that's okay
dinged on it because he's the current head coach, but it is an administration thing. It just is.
But
go ahead.
Is it Lincoln Riley calling the shots though? Like, does he have so much power there? Him and Chad Bowden.
What power? He's won 12 more games than I have. I mean, what
Okay,
power has he had? He's got
no,
damn
that's
power. He's got no power.
all right.
I mean,
Let's rewind. Okay, when I asked you for your thoughts, what's the first thing you said? It's getting canceled, right? That's what you
he's
said.
canceled.
So
I
then
completely
clearly
agree.
Lincoln Riley has some power here. If this is something that he wants, and maybe the administration doesn't, it seems like Lincoln
Well,
might
then,
be pushing this.
but he's a damn coach who could easily go 7-5 this year, and they fire his ass. So
So
the power. But what's the power? Lincoln Riley could go out and kick butt this year. Lincoln Riley was an inch away from following Caleb Williams. Had he had a really good year with Caleb, he was going to the NFL. So Lincoln Riley's not going to be here for no damn. He won't be at SC for 4
well,
more years.
I agree. But if he's here for 4 more months, that could be long enough
It doesn't
for him
matter.
to
No damn
influence
head coach.
that.
He is not. He's not John McKay. He ain't Pete Carroll. He ain't any of
I
those
hope
guys.
you're right. Like I
No
do.
head. I'm just saying, no head coach. Head coaches have power like Joe Pa, Bobby Bowden. Hell yeah, they're setting their schedules. Lou Holtz didn't have any power. They're like, you're playing 12 power fives. Enjoy. That's how it works. Certain coaches, when they've been there for a long time, they run the damn school. Lincoln Riley does not run USC. You could talk to any USC fan. If Lincoln Riley left today, USC fans are not being upset. They're not
No,
upset for
not at
5
all.
seconds. They're like, chill, cool.
I just hope that the administration is not letting if it's Lincoln and Chad who don't want to play Notre Dame or whoever else.
Chad has zero. They're not giving the 30-year-old Wonder Boy.
Okay, all right, just listen. Just let me finish my sentence.
Come on.
I hope they do not let the football staff that comes and goes make the decision on this for the next 10 years, 15. Like, I just hope that they don't make the call. They don't, like the president, the AD, and all those people don't make the call on this, or they don't let the staff who may not be here in 6 months the decision on it.
This all came out with the new AD. All right. She's the one, and the new president, right? The AD, that's the female, right? Came from Washington. I could be wrong. I just know the name. I'm not studying who the hell the SCAD is. But anyway, this all came about from the athletic director starting to restructure things, and it's all about damn travel. It's travel. They don't want to, and they're working with the Big Ten Conference to be like, if we're playing Notre Dame October 23rd, make sure we don't have a damn game at so-and-so the next week, which they really haven't. That's what kills me. If you look at SC's 24 and 25 schedules, and I think 26 is even starting to be formed, USC is not traveling in the cold. So this year, their last travel games at Nebraska, November 1st. Then they go 4 straight weeks, the West Coast. All home games at Oregon. Last year, all home games at Washington to end the season. So their last road game was like at the end of October. So USC, believe it or not, if Notre Dame fans go and look at the schedules, the Big Ten is just, they've kissed their butt, if you ask me. They've made it super easy for USC when it comes to this travel. But they got to play Maryland. You got to go to Iowa. You got to go to some of these schools. So it is what it is. But this is my opinion. I'm not this Lincoln Riley setting this thing, man, because his ass could be gone anytime. Yeah. It's an administration thing, and they're looking downward, schedules, travel, getting into the playoffs, getting some of that cash, all of that. But and just the last point, I said it earlier, because I've done it. I went back and looked at Pete Carroll. My God, he won a national championship beating Auburn and Notre Dame in his preseason. I think that was Virginia as well. So his entire 12-game schedule was all power teams. All power teams. His best team could easily be 08. That 08 team was freakazoids. Notre Dame had like no yard. I think that's the Jimmy Clausen game. They didn't even have 100 freaking yards. And they beat Ohio State and Notre Dame in the same damn season. And I think that's either Tech or someone else. All power teams. So it's all about building a roster, not some, powder puff schedule. And that's the great thing that USC fans on the podcast are talking about. Like, my God, if you're worried about trying to make the top 4 in the Big Ten and you can't beat Notre Dame, you ain't going to do crap in the playoffs anyway.
Yeah.
So the SC fans have been good on this thing. Not the Twitter idiots. Those guys are clowns. I'm talking about the true guys that are calling into shows and writing letters to the president. So
Good.
it sucks, and I just hope USC just gets spanked. They got a soft. They got a Penn State and SC are going to battle to see who has the softest first 3 games
Yeah.
in the nation, and then they have Michigan, Illinois, Notre Dame. So hopefully the 3 physical teams that like to hit. So we'll see how they come out of that thing.
This is not on the docket, but I'm going to spend a second on this, Tim. Did you see this news? The Florida Board of Governors has blocked the hiring of Michigan's Santa Ono as president.
I saw. I saw the picture and I was like, first off, the dude officially left Michigan, correct? So he's jobless right now.
Yes.
But so these state real quick, these state jobs are political jobs. Governors have a ton of power in who gets into these things. So him leaving Michigan, not knowing he's got the votes, is insane. I was just reading some of that last night. I think Andy Staples posted some stuff, and I was reading his. And then Mr. Bacon, who's a great Michigan writer. God, is that John C. Bacon? Great writer. He's written a ton of books on Michigan. I was reading his Twitter, following along. He said the same thing. What the hell are you thinking? So
okay,
there's
that. But all right, what about the why? Why did it get vetoed?
Dude, first off, it's Florida. Who's more of their own country, Florida or Texas? I have no idea. Both those states are wild to me. So, hey, man, this is politics. It's a state job, one of the premier public schools in America. So this is a political job.
Okay, maybe.
That's my take, just looking on the outside.
I tweeted, are y'all thinking what I'm thinking? A lot of people are like, no, Mike, what are you thinking?
Yeah, what are you
This
thinking?
guy correctly said he's implicated in the NCAA investigation against Florida or against Michigan and Florida.
Michigan thing.
That was my thing. Is like, how bad was it at Michigan that this guy could have been somehow involved? Or
the president up there, is it funneling through the president's office?
I don't know if it's funneling into the president's office, but is he? That was my Or dude, Michigan has so much crap going on. That was my like 30,000 foot.
Okay, so you're going deep. So was Connor Stallions in with the president? When Connor Stallions is in disguise at Central Michigan with the old, Michigan OC, Coach McElwain, was he sending emails to a private? Now we're diving into the Hillary Clinton server, right? Was he sending stuff in the President Ono's server there, trying to hold this thing, right?
I'm not saying that.
We're both.
But Connor is not the only thing that's happened at Michigan. There's been so much crap. I feel like it's just there's been so many like coaches. They were sending emails or something they weren't supposed to, or I don't know, dude. That was my first thought. I am not basing that on any sort of substantive truth or reason. I was just like, tinfoil hat, throw it on. There you go.
No, that whole thing is we're all waiting to see what happens. We're all waiting for some sort of a hammer to drop, and God, I hope dude, it has to. It has to drop. Has to.
Notre Dame hopes so. Notre Dame hopes so. They would love to get Matt Ludwig out of that.
Yeah, exactly, but we had But who knows what the NC is going to do? Didn't North Carolina basketball like pass out grades for 20 years and they got 0? So, so who knows what they're going to do? Yeah,
they'll ban Jim Harbaugh a little bit more. That's what they'll do.
Yeah, a guy who's never going to coach again in the college. Yeah. Exactly.
So we love some bracketology. Do we talk about this yet, Tim? This Andy Staples. Did we do this last week?
Maybe, but we didn't dive into it too much. So I found it interesting. I actually did a little homework on this. To see how
I'm looking at it. Yeah, we definitely did this. Now that I'm looking at it.
But we didn't really talk too much about his teams, which I find. I'll take a minute on this. So ESPN, is coming out with all their S&P Plus and Football Power Index and things, all of those numbers that come out. But one thing not talked about enough is the returning production. So I went on the ESPN returning production chart now that all the transfers and everyone's settled in. My some of these numbers are insane. Now they're names, right? They're still names. Certain of these schools recruit top 5 each and every year. Texas is his national champion. Come on, Timmy. Where's the thing out here? Texas, 103rd in returning production. 103rd. So he's predicted. They're 4 brand new offensive linemen. Obviously, they got the Arch. I think the hype with Arch is what's carrying this. All the receivers went to the NFL. They got a couple great running backs, dudes on defense. They got damn good football players. But 103rd. Just think of the big boys. Ohio State's 101, right? Their entire team last year went to the NFL. Oregon, who's getting hype times 10, 109th. And then UGA, Mr. Georgia. Once again, Kirby Smart recruits his butt off. They got dudes, but they've also had a lot of transfers. 105th in returning production. So I was looking at some of these teams because it's the same guys over and over again. But some of these guys, man, have a massive rebuild. So it's going to go down to the schedule. Does Texas have – I know they have Ohio State. The start, both those teams are going to be starting a lot of new faces. So that's pretty interesting. And then Texas Tech is 4th in the country. Clemson's number 1 in the country. Most players returning. So that's why Clemson's got the hype, best D-line in the country. Texas Tech, same thing. A lot of transfers, but a ton of production returning as well from a ball club. Alabama's got a lot of production. Notre Dame was 62. My team is I don't want to say my team, but you know the one I've
team you like, yeah.
I've consistently said, which I know fans hate, is Penn State, just because they have so many dudes coming back. They just do, and what their return production is 30, and it's a lot. I'm not saying. You guys know. Mark with glasses laughs every time because I can't stand Penn State. So,
but you think they have a really good team?
Hell yeah! 4 offensive linemen returning with 2 running backs. I knew Drew Aller gets dumped on a lot, but what was their weakness? Wide receivers. Well, they go to the portal and get 3 wide receivers.
Wasn't it against Notre Dame? They only had like 1 completion to a receiver.
None. 0.
None. Yeah, that is the most 0. Notre Dame stat of all time that Penn State had.
and then you look at their schedule. They have Oregon, but they have Oregon after 3 cupcakes and a bye. So they really have 4 weeks to prepare for Oregon, that's their whiteout game, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the year, they'll play the Buckeyes. So I'm telling you, man, I said it before, they're going 11-1 with their eyes closed this year. They just are.
Yeah.
So they got too much talent. Texas, man, the more I started to dive just into some of these national numbers, and I'm starting to read on who's returning and who's who, don't jinx it, Tim, but holy moly, if Notre Dame could figure out a guy who could pass and some dudes that could catch, it's wide open. It's wide open for them because they really match up personnel-wise and body-wise with a lot of guys. And I don't want to jinx it because it's going to come down to the freaking quarterback. So
yeah.
It just is. And I know people say, well, what about Julian Sayin? Well, he's throwing to 5 NFL guys.
Yeah.
Dante Moore's throwing to NFL guys. Some of these Arch Manning, it's Texas. They've reloaded. That's why they got the hype machine building. So it's going to be an interesting run. Me personally on this, he's got Florida, which has a ton of guys returning. I think LSU is going to be the 3rd team out of the SEC. I do. So I think they'll be 3rd behind Texas and Bama. I think Bama's got a boatload of guys too. So, but I think LSU is going to be in there, which I know will piss Notre Dame fans off. But
so he's they
got a pretty good football team. I would put LSU up in that Florida type bracket up there.
So he's got 4 SEC and then 4 Big Ten. It's still like, okay, wait, Oregon's Big Ten now. Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, or is there just 3? Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State. Yeah, just so he's got 4 SEC, 3 Big Ten, 2 ACC,
2 ACC,
Big 12. Okay.
So it's kind of the opposite last year where you had 4 Big Ten with Indiana getting in playing nobody, and this year they're going 3 Big Ten and 4 SEC. So they just flipped those 2 conferences.
So Texas undefeated here, Penn State undefeated here, Notre Dame undefeated.
Andy on Andy's podcast.
We definitely talked about this last week then.
Yeah, exactly. He said they're losing to Miami. That's fine. He said they're losing to Miami going 11.
And then run the table. Okay.
Miami's going to take them in game 1.
Okay.
So I enjoyed that.
All right. So Tim, this next segment, you have no idea what this is about to be. Right? I know I emailed you and I said 2025 season
Go for it.
predictions exercise with Tim live reaction. But other than that, you have no idea. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't even know what that means. So, but anyway, kick it
So
off.
for the football preview magazine we do, what is the first thing you say you always turn to?
Oh God, the score predictions. I open up right in the middle, or right in that 2/3 area back there, and I go right to each game, and I want to see, what blue and gold. I've been doing that for 30 years to see what you guys
Well,
do.
wait, is it like the individual writer makes all their predictions, or is that
No, 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 no. Each game, you have to do little bios for each game, and there's always a little
okay.
prediction in there. Whoever
Okay.
writes it up. So whoever writes it up this year for the Miami game will do a score as well. So I like to see.
Well, what about where we do regular season record, bowl
Yep,
game, team MVP,
that's usually after that, where you go the
Yeah.
MVPs, you got your individual records, what bowl game you're in.
Tim, can you do mine with me? I have to turn this in, and I want to go through this with you.
Oh God, it's
That
just
is that is the this early season predictions part of this headline and this show. When Jack sent this to me to do, I was like, "Bro, I mean, like, such a mental exercise that I like to talk this through." So this
can
is
we
my
do this?
decision, but I need Tim to kind of guide me here, okay?
Can we do this to get us to the playoffs or the Pop Tarts Bowl? What do
Let's
we
just
try?
go let's just go one by one, Tim. Let's just talk this
Okay,
out. Regular season record. Are we going 11-0, or excuse me, 11-1 or 12-0?
11
I
and one. Go 11
11-1.
and one. Go 11
It's
and one. What the heck?
it's no, the 12-0 is the what the heck. But I agree with you on 11-1 just because of history.
Well, history with Marcus Freeman. Every year there's been a what the hell just happened moment.
So
And Notre Dame hasn't gone undefeated at home in a handful of years. So, and they got some really good home games this year.
so with that, Beefeater says Polar cranberry lime seltzer. It is Polar cranberry clementine.
Oh,
It's freaking fantastic.
you guys are killing me.
Um, good eye, Beefeater. All right, so with that, what is the bowl game slash CFPC? So obviously it's not a bowl game. CFPC. What do you think? 3 or 4? Like if it's an early loss, they run the table. Early respectable loss, then run it from
I'll
there. What do
say
you think?
4. I'll say 4.
Okay, I was thinking 3 or 4. I mean, if Andy had them at 3,
Get them
I'll go
at 3.
4.
I'm going to go 4 just because they're going to use that loss and they're going to try and wiggle an SEC Big Ten who's ever that 11 and 1-ish above Notre Dame. That's my gut. I'll go 4.
All right, team MVP. I mean, J Love.
Gotta
That's
go.
probably the easy one.
Sometimes easy's okay. It's okay to be easy. So,
But any dissenting opinion, you're looking at like
I mean,
Leonard Moore. I mean, but probably he's not going to get many targets thrown at him. You're just saying J Love.
yeah, because I mean, no wide receivers, is going to look like Will Fuller. Even T.J. Jones won the team MVP but he had like 90 catches and 1,000 yards. Michael Floyd 100 catches. I'm not expecting that out of this wide receiver room. So Love's got to be the easiest one on earth. So unless they just says no, we're going to give him 8 touches a game, save him for the NFL. But no, I think he's going to touch that bad boy 18 times a game is my average. I was doing some stats the other day to get him up there. So he's MVP.
Okay. So breakthrough player, and the term breakthrough is defined as a sudden, dramatic, or important discovery or development. At first, my thought was Greathouse to break through to be a number one, but I don't know if that would fit based on the definition of the word.
I know this is a tough one because so many guys have played. So like my gut is instantly I just go to Kingston. I
That's
think Kingston.
exactly what I was going to say was Kingston.
Is he a breakthrough because he played last year? But to me, he's a breakthrough as a sophomore year to go out there. It's almost like Demetrius Sabose back in the day where he just went out there and just took over for the next few years. I see Kingston being that, Courtney Watson, being one of those types of linebackers who just gets on the field sophomore year, and I'm just going to start balling.
Yeah, I'm with you on Kingston.
Adrian Young, I don't know how he breaks through when he's the fourth or fifth back. That's my
Yeah.
humble opinion. So
Okay.
that's what I don't see that. But yeah, is that a breakthrough? I mean, a true breakthrough is who the hell is that fifth wide receiver that goes out there and plays? But
Yeah.
maybe it won't. I don't know. Who's
So most anticipated game, Tim.
USC.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to blink. USC, especially if it's the last one ever.
Given the drama and the pageantry, like and everything, like yeah, I'm with you.
It's SC. It's
This
especially if it's the
Miami
last one.
game makes
Oh,
me
it's
think.
huge. I mean, it's huge. Miami, the A&M, those are the same darn things. It's like Miami shouldn't even be included in this thing because, of course, that's anticipated. It's on the road. Notre Dame hasn't won down there since the late 70s. I always love throwing that out because it sounds scary as hell. But they've only played there twice, 89 and 17. Since they won the national title. So it's not like they're going down there every couple years.
Yeah.
So to me, it's SC. It could be the last one ever. USC.
Yeah.
That would be my vote.
Swandong said Carson Hobbs for the breakthrough. That I could absolutely see
Ooh, I
that.
like
Carson Hobbs, I've heard good things. Okay,
like that.
most upset alert. I feel I would say
Put up the schedule.
Arkansas or Pitt.
Okay, here's my take on Arkansas. Hopefully, this is not too negative, but the Football Power Index came out. They're ranked 12th in the SEC. If Notre Dame cannot go down and beat the 12th best team in the Southeastern Conference, prep for the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Just start
Yeah,
prepping.
well,
Turn in your
yes.
gear and just say, okay, we'll see you guys December 28th.
I
Of
mean,
course, it's a tough game. They beat top 10 Tennessee last year. I get all that stuff. But I'm just saying, here it is, Notre Dame, year 4. You just played for a national championship game. It's an SEC road game. The fellas are going to get hyped. They're going to be excited. If they go down there and lose to a mid-major in the SEC, Arkansas is a mid-level program in that conference.
I know. I hear your take of your Notre Dame. You shouldn't lose the game. They do. They have. They've lost to some bad teams in the Marcus Freeman era.
At home. So if I have a trap game, go back on this thing. People keep saying the NC State. I like the NC State one because it's the Boise SoCal in between there. So, but man, Dave Doeren going to come beat Marcus Freeman, then prep for the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
No.
So,
you would have said
track games are interesting because I get it. Boise State is one of those teams that returns a ton, believe it or not. They lost their running back, obviously, he's a stud. Everyone else is back on that team. But that to me would be the bigger trap game because you're after an SEC road game. Boise's the easy pick. There's no way in hell Pitt. After they play SC, it's scrimmages the rest of the season.
The Pitt one, maybe it's not Pitt. It's maybe Boston College. I meant to say. Yep, Pitt's terrible, but it's Boston. It's Boston College that Notre Dame fans are always telling me. It's like, oh, Boston College. Boston College.
They have lost. They have struggled at home at least one game. So you know what? Let's go NC State. Let's go NC State's the week before SC comes to town.
I'm going Boise. I'm going Boise State.
I like Boise because it's after the SEC road game. I agree. That's a good one.
We'll go Boise. Opponent on the rise, Tim. Not Purdue. I mean, actually, how much worse can it get? How much worse can it get for Purdue?
On the rise to me is I would just. I mean, that's Mike Elko and A&M. Elko's a damn good coach. They had a hell of a season last year. Just melted down. And I've seen a couple of podcasts he's been on down there in Texas explaining that. He just got tired, got worn out, those types of things as the season grinded. But it's going to be a good recruiter. They got good cash. A&M's always overrated, but I think Mike Elko's a good coach. When I say rise, solid top 20 football program, I think Mike Elko could have them in the top 20. I mean, it's really the first two teams. Miami's on the rise because Cristobal's got cash and he knows how to recruit.
Do you see Navy just stole USF's AD? Did you see that today?
I saw. Hey, First off, I don't want to say this because I can't stand these guys, but the Buckeyes, kudos to Ohio State for playing Navy. Yeah, I
Mhm.
talked about this, a long time ago, where all these teams in the South, everyone wants to put up the flag and root for the vets, but no one wants to play the veterans. No one wants to play Army Navy, and all these SEC fans will make fun of Notre Dame for playing them. So kudos to Ohio State for scheduling Navy in a couple of years.
So you're thinking Miami or A&M's the choice of opponent on the rise?
I would go A&M just because I like Mike Elko. Cristobal's a tool, but I like Mike Elko.
All right.
When I say on the rise, a solid top 20 football program that could compete for a title.
I feel like they've kind of been in that top 20 for a while. That's my only hesitation. I feel like they've been right around there.
Mike, I mean, who's on the rise? You can't say BC's on the rise, NC State's on the rise. You can't Syracuse on the rise. Their coach is so young; he's going to be gone soon, and Jelly's not going to get them over the hump.
Well, dude, Syracuse has been doing.
They had one good year.
They've been doing some pretty good things in the portal, and some highly ranked guys who maybe didn't pan out at their first stop. Like Zach Rice was a 5-star. Jonte Cook was a really talented recruit.
I hear you. Cook's on his 4th team now. But, Fran Brown, I like Fran Brown. The guy, he's a Kirby Smart dude. He's energetic. He's fearless. So if you want to go
Syracuse,
go
on Syracuse.
I like that. I'm going to use that when they play. Then on the rise. Here we go. I like that.
Hopefully you'll forget. Opponent on the decline. This one should be easier, right? I mean, I still think Purdue might have been a good one for the last, just because how much worse can it get? Do you have to get better?
On the decline, I mean, it's dead man walking in Arkansas. That coach, he almost got canned last year, but Arkansas's we're spending so much money on John Calipari in basketball. Who the hell cares about football? So they brought him back. He was gone. He won one certain game. No, Pitt can't be it because on the decline. I'm sorry, I was back. On the decline, yes. I like Pitt because they got Narduzzi's going into, is it year 10? Can someone Google that? It's like he's been there forever. How much longer is that guy going to survive? So I like that. I like Pitt. My vote's Arkansas, but I understand Pitt as
well. Joey O'Brien. Yes, I canceled Tennessee and moved ND up.
So that means he knows where he's going because he moved it up.
What do you mean? Knows where he's going? Like what school he's going to?
Yeah, he knows where he's going. Are you telling me he's just going to make a flip the coin decision 7 days after, 6 days, 5 days after his Notre Dame official?
I'm not.
He knows where he's going. He knows where he's going.
He might. He might.
He knows.
I started asking this question for recruits. Before OVs. Do you kind of have an idea of where you're going already, or are you using these officials as to decide? And I kind of add that last part because I feel like most of the time they're just gonna say, "Yeah, I'm using these officials to decide." But I had a recruit tell me the other day. I guess it's fine to say his name. I think it was in the article. Elijah Golden, the defensive line from Florida, he was like, I think I know where I'm going, but sometimes I go back and forth, so I'm using these officials to help me decide.
No, I feel you. I told some of my players, Coach, I know where I want to go. I'm like, dude, you get free plane ride, free steaks, free gear. It's like, go on all the official visits you could get. So, hey, go enjoy it, man. They're going to spoil you rotten. Go out and go have some fun. But if you start to make that decision here in June, I mean, the 20th, Mike, is what, 2 weeks away right? What are we, the 4th, 5th today? He's going to commit on the 20th. So you got 2 weeks and a couple days. Yeah, you start to know where you're going. He's coming off. Hasn't he already visited Penn State, Clemson?
Visited Penn State in May 16th. Just was at Clemson. But I wouldn't say him.
Unless it's Notre Dame. He's been to 2. I'm moving this up. Notre Dame, let's go. I have no interest in Tennessee.
I would argue that, yeah, maybe he does know where he's going. But I don't
At the same time, I'm with you. I do like what you said, though, Mike. I agree with you where I kind of know, but I just need to double check.
Yeah.
I need to see these guys, hang out with all these guys for a weekend, confirm all that.
Yeah. But I just don't think it's like, oh, because he did this decision to
Yeah, I
do
feel
June 20th. I don't think he now. Oh, he definitely knows where he's going. I would push back on that,
I
but
feel you. I feel you.
yeah, I mean, it's really interesting because Penn State was middle of May, and I was told that the Penn State staff did not want that OV necessarily. They kind of wanted it. Um,
Well, they were the same
later.
with Corey Adams, right? They're trying to wrap those guys up now. Basically, both home state guys, right? I know Adams is
And
Maryland.
I was
Oh,
told that right, that's Penn State country in terms of
exactly,
recruiting.
exactly.
I was told that Joey O'Brien, there's no chance. Like that family was way too grounded to make an emotional decision right there. So yeah, I could see like okay, so Penn State already took that OV. Is he really going to go to Oregon? I mean,
Take
Joey's
that.
got flash. He's like, but I think like he's superstar Hollywood. Like there's recruits like
Yeah.
stars, right? Joey O'Brien is a star. He's a playmaker, like
Yes.
big social followings, big name.
His film is
But
freakish.
I think
mean,
at
he's
the end of
unbelievable.
the day, he is a LaSalle College kid. I like
Yep.
he goes to that private school. Like I think he ends up at Notre Dame. I do. I don't like Penn State. Is he really going to go to Oregon? Clemson is interesting, but I think that Clemson's probably fourth for him, even though I mean, Clemson fits. I think Clemson has the culture that fits Joey because Clemson and Notre Dame's culture is similar, right?
Yes.
To him, like, okay,
I would
I'm
say
glad you
yes.
agree with me.
Yes.
So that doesn't surprise me. He likes Clemson a lot, but the academics, I think the family wants Notre Dame, so I'm rolling.
Well, this goes back to what you and I argued about a couple weeks ago. You were on Finley. I think O'Brien's the most important. I think O'Brien is Kyle Hamilton. I think he could play obviously safety early, often, get on the field. He's a wide receiver. The dude's unbelievable.
Did you see my report on Finley the other day?
What's that?
Did you see my report on Finley the other day? He was on campus this week.
I didn't read it, but I just know he was on campus.
Yeah, isn't that?
On campus.
That's
Which my Notre Dame brain goes to, well, he's got dad, he's got cash. He flew out there, shook their hand and said, all right, thanks, guys. I'm going to Austin. But I wanted to tell him in person. I know that's not the case, but that's a little bit what I was thinking. Not that he would do that, but no, that was very nice. And he's coming back for an official.
Yeah.
So that's obviously a big
promising
battle going down the road here to Texas versus Notre Dame. It's looking like as a 1-2 there. I mean, just the fact that he came up for an unofficial before his official tells you it's 50-50. That's how I would look at that recruiting is a true 50-50. Because if it was all Texas, man, hey, I could go to Notre Dame on the 13th, 20th, whatever the date is.
He's been there so many times too. He's been to South Bend a lot.
Exactly.
Tex ND said, "Is that the kid rocking that with?" That was Jaden Warren. He's another Texas guy.
Is the rocket the picture with the rocket? That's the SC commit, correct?
No, that's Cohen Brown. That's another Texas guy. This was Jaden Warren, who Notre Dame was. Man, I talked about Aiden Pouncey at the top of the show, Tim. Jaden Warren dropped a top 6. No Notre Dame.
And he's at Notre Dame.
OVs, and then Notre Dame got him up for unofficial. I mean, and now they're a key contender.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're getting a Texas kid to come up on an unofficial before the official. That shows a lot of interest.
I'm telling you, man, they're doing well. All right, wrapping up. Coach of the year, Tim. So,
Coach of the year.
I don't like this one. It's like, all right, who's going to be the top team? You want to go Steve Sarkisian? Like, or
are we going Coach of the Year for Notre Dame staff or national?
No, anyone. So let's go James Franklin because Tim loves him.
Oh God, he's a tool.
I don't know. Lincoln Riley, Tim.
The national. Oh, you're talking about the national Coach of the Year?
I'm joking, by the way.
Okay.
National Coach of the Year. I think every single time I've filled this out, I've always just put Kirby Smart by default. I'm like, bro, default. I just said default. I don't know. I
have no. Who the heck's going to win the national title? So, obviously Texas. But once again, I keep going back to all this production, man. Are all these young guys going to step up and be dudes right from the get-go? man, can you just leave that? Call me back later. It's
I'm just gonna put Steve Sarkeesian because I need to send this.
No, come on. You're gonna pump up Horka. He's probably gonna be,
All right, CFP championship game, Tim.
Oh my gosh.
These are ultimate shots in the dark here.
Of course they are.
It's pretty dumb to have.
You know what? At the top of my head, I am going to go. I just think.
Let's pull up Andy's bracket again. It might give us some
inspiration. You know what? Let's do this. Let's go Notre Dame, Clemson. Dabo's got stacked. He's got experienced wide receivers, experienced quarterback, the best D-line in the country. Heck of an offensive line.
So, Tim, you think with the rookie quarterback, Notre Dame's taking this to the national championship game?
No, but it just looks good in the magazine. So, looks good.
I mean, I guess by game like freaking 38 of the season, you're not so much a rookie anymore.
You got Jeremiah Love. You got some dudes on if the DNs stay healthy, you got a legitimate pass rush. The DB, same thing. You got to stay healthy. It's all about health, as we know. But I'm going. My two favorite teams, Clemson and Notre Dame. How's that? But that's just me. You could. You know what? Save yours for. Send it when you're done. Figure it all out.
All right.
Because it's so easy to go Texas. Georgia is rebuilding so much.
I don't like Georgia.
Our wild card, which is not a freaking wild card, is just Alabama because they just freaking Alabama. And you just feel like they're going to just be ticked off at the world with what happened last year. Kalen DeBoer is a hell of a ball coach. He had to.
What do you think about Ohio State?
Man, I just think they lost so much. So much. They have beyond talent. I mean, I don't know what their schedule is. I know they got Texas and they got Penn State at the end, and Michigan's Michigan. But I could see Ohio. I mean, Ohio State. This is what kills me. This is how damn good Ohio State is a program. They're going to struggle, have a down year, and go 10-2. That's a down year.
Yeah.
They've won 10 games, something like 25 years in a row. It's not even fair. They got dudes everywhere, man. And who was the big star of their spring is the linebacker out of Texas. We all thought was going to Notre Dame. The one that went with laryngitis. I can't even think of his name right now. I was just reading about him a couple weeks ago.
Peyton
Pierce, or not Pierce, but yes. Yeah. Is it Pierce? But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think it's Peyton
linebacker. Pierce. Yeah, exactly. He went with laryngitis. He had a hell of a spring. I'm reading that. I'm like, great. That was a kick in the gut right there.
Mm-hmm. I think I had a prediction. Yeah, Peyton Pierce. I think I predicted him to Notre Dame at one point. But
he's like the Indiana guy Notre Dame had, and then went to Ohio State and ended up getting drafted. Who's the guy that was a couple of years ago? Come on, guys, help me out in the chat. Oh my God, they're really good linebacker right before Notre Dame got Kaiser in that whole core. Anyway. You guys know what I'm talking about. Went to Ohio State, was committed to Notre Dame, went to Ohio State, ends up getting drafted. Stud. Fast as could be. But I read that. No, you know what? I mean, if I had to do a couple bucks on it's not Stover, that's recent. I'm talking like 7-8 years ago. God, I can't think of his name.
All right, I'm typing out my pick, but I'll leave it.
No, I could see Bama's my dark horse, which is weird just because they got too much talent. Monsters on both lines. They got too much talent. I think they're going to be super hungry. And then I think LSU is going to be good, but there's no way in hell I could get them to the Final Four. People hate me if I did that. That's why I just keep coming back to experience. By the way, Clemson, I think I mentioned it, Clemson is number one in production returning. They got dudes everywhere on this roster. So that's going to be my wild card right there.
So we talked about this football preview magazine. So guys, I'm telling you, if you're a Notre Dame fan, this is a must. All right. You go to bluegoldonline.com. Okay. It's right here. The 2025 Notre Dame football preview. Jeremiah Love on the cover. Sweet looking cover. You can save $11 when you add this to a Blue and Gold subscription. So you can get the magazine all year round. It's monthly in the off season and weekly during the football season, or save $6 with free shipping if you order in the next, 36 hours or something. Guys, in-depth analysis on each position group, player features, previews of each opponent, final evaluation on the 2020 class, information filled notes section, look at former Irish players in the NFL, recruiting overview. I did a big spread on Noah Grubbs, which I think you'll find interesting, Tim. I talked to his offensive coordinator for a half hour and questioned him on like, hey, why is Noah's completion percentage under 60%? Like, we really dove into how Noah Grubbs became Noah Grubbs, and then I wrote a recap on the 2025 recruiting class for the Irish. Kyle's doing a big feature on North Carolina recruiting for Notre Dame. So this is going to be worth every single penny. So check it out, bluegoldonline.com, and pick up your Notre Dame football preview.
Last word on that, it's for the chat, it's Pete Werner, who got drafted in 20 or 21. That's who it was. So I just found him out. That's the guy from Indianapolis, was going to Notre Dame, followed there, went to Ohio State.
Good show today, Tim. I think we're live next Wednesday.
We went well over an hour. We haven't done that in a while. I like it.
Our recruiting show this week, guys, will not be Friday because I'm going to be in South Bend for Irish Invasion. Saturday at 6 p.m. Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're not doing anything on a Saturday, I'll be live with Kyle.
Are you and Kyle going to do a wrap up together off of Irish Invasion?
We'll do like have the tripod and talk for 8 minutes, but
but you're not going to do a show together.
We're not going to do a live show sit down.
Gotcha.
No, because he's got to get back to Toledo. That'd be pretty
Toledo,
cool.
what's in Toledo? Come on, Kyle.
That's where he lives.
It's Toledo. Come on.
So you're saying like sit down at live? I'll see what he's thinking. That's actually not a bad idea. That'd be fun. But we have to.
Irish Invasion's always fun. Notre Dame fans would like that. So maybe a Sunday night if you and Kyle coordinate something. I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm leaving Saturday morning.
I know fans would love this. They would like a nice live show recap. I'm just throwing it out there, right? And then because the following weekend's official visit, so
I leave tomorrow morning. I get back Saturday afternoon, and I was thinking, I mean, Friday we have to write articles and do interviews, like and I gotta label
Sunday,
so much
after Irish Invasion. After Invasion, you guys.
Yeah, I just said we're gonna do Saturday at 6.
Oh, okay. And I asked you, is it live? And you said no.
Oh, we're gonna do so after the camp ends. I'm gonna set up my tripod and phone, and we're gonna shoot a 10-minute video. But then Saturday at 6. But I thought you were saying like, why don't we do a live show when we're sitting in the same room together? That would be cool. But probably not gonna be able to happen because he's got to get back to Toledo. Anyways,
it's in Toledo. Come on.
He lives in Toledo.
I know. I'm messing with him.
All right.
I can't talk about Toledo. They almost beat Notre Dame for crying out loud a couple years ago. So
yeah, the Jack Cohn popped the finger back in.
Yeah, exactly.
Tyler Buckner coming out party.
Hit Mike Mayer in the seam. There you go. Exactly. Holy moly.
Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the Blue Gold YouTube channel for more content. If you're just tuning in, rewind, watch from the beginning. Tim and I had some good conversation today. We're getting through the dog days of June, talking a lot of recruiting. So, yeah, make sure you lock into this YouTube channel and blueandgold.com. As always, folks, we will catch you next time.